Hey guys, Jono here. We're in the pit lane here at Sugo for round 4 of the Super GT Championship. We're getting ready for tomorrow's race. We've had qualifying. The boys are tuning the car up now for tomorrow's 300-kilometre race around here. What I thought I'd do while the car's up on the patch is show you guys through the inside of the car and show you what buttons we get to press when we're out there on the track. So follow me, we'll go take a look.
Alrighty, so we're settled up in the driver's seat. Pit walk's just about to start. Hey mate, by the looks of it. Anyway, so this is the view from the hot seat. I'll talk you guys quickly through everything we've got in here. First things first, we're settled up with a 6-point harness. So we've got 2 crutch belts here, then 2 that come through each side, and then obviously over our shoulders. This keeps us nice and secure in the car. We've then got these harnesses left and right, which in the event of an accident or roll stops the driver's arms from flailing around and breaking them. Now we do have a rear view mirror, but as you can see it does really bugger all. So we've got this rear view camera which sticks out of the rear bumper. That lets us see the closing traffic from the... Now we've got our center control panel. A lot of these we don't use, but a lot of them we do. So the top row here, the only one that the driver really uses out on the track is the mains switch. So to start the car, the mains come down, comes down. Then behind the steering wheel here, we've got our starter button there. The rest of these up the top are more just used by the mechanics during the warm-up and preparation process of the car, running the fuel pump, other stuff like that. We've got our main lights here, our rain light, which we have to use in the rain. That puts a red light on the back of the car. Auxiliary light we don't use. Launch control, when this is on and our car is dropped off the jacks in a pit stop, it starts the engine automatically and allows us to blast off quickly. We've then got our fan, no aircon, but we do have a fan. So this blasts air out of these vents, these agricultural looking vents here. We then also have the ability to switch that from the driver up to the windscreen in the event of some demisting being needed in the rain. Although that's unlikely because we also have a heated screen like most of your road cars. We've then come to our rotary dials. We've got some cool stuff going on here. 11-stage ABS system. 0 is off, 11 is maximum. So the higher the number, the more ABS is used to stop the car. Believe it or not, it's actually better to use little ABS, so I normally run it at about 1 or 2, so most of the braking's still done naturally. We've then got throttle sensitivity here. Well, this is not actually throttle sensitivity anymore. This is now part of a 2-stage traction control system. So between this dial here and this one on the wheel, we adjust our traction control, and between the two of them, they adjust the parameters of how much traction is added into the car. Throttle sensitivity here, which literally means how sensitive the throttle is. You push the accelerator. We've then got wet and dry setups for both of for all of these rotary dials. So when we change up to wet, the intensity and the way in which each of these work is adjusted. Most of the rest of the stuff is used in the case of an emergency. We then move across into the passenger's footwell. We can have a passenger seat in here for hot laps, but obviously in race situation we don't. So what we've got here, we've got our 2-way radio which plugs into our helmet. That allows us to talk to the team in the pits. What's that? That must... Oh, you put the battery in. We've then got our cool suit system. So in this box we fill up with dry ice. We then plug in from a shirt that we're wearing with lots of veins and membranes running through it. We plug that shirt into here, flicker on, and that pumps cold water, ice cold water and dry ice through our upper body to keep our core body temperature cool when we're out on the track. We've also got our drink bottle hose here. This feeds into our helmet, which we push with the drink button on the steering wheel, and it pumps water into our mounts. They thought of everything here. Now when we're in the pit stop, we pull this here that disconnects all 3 of these quickly so that we can jump out of the car quickly for our pit stops. Moving on to the steering wheel now. Kill switch. Doesn't do anything cool, not like Mario Kart, unfortunately, but in the case of a serious emergency, the kill switch kills the engine and all the electronics and everything immediately so that we can evacuate the car. High beam, this is our flasher. We use that, you can see on the dash there. That flashes traffic when we're out on the track. We've then got our pit speed, so when that's on, see if that shows on the dash. Yep, with the green, pit speed active. That limits the car to 50 kilometers an hour down the pit lane. Radio, so when we press that we can talk to the pits, press and hold. Our indicators are these little buttons here, left and right. Alarm, that clears any alarms on the dash up there. Fuel reset, so when we have a pit stop we press and hold this, it resets the fuel on the dash. You can see it's pretty much at 0 now, so that when we're reporting back to the team during the race or the stint as to how much fuel we're using, they can calculate when to pit. Display, this changes the display on the dash. I'll talk you through the dash in a moment. Get that back to number 1. Obviously traction control, which I've showed you. Engine map. We've got 3 engine maps that we use here. Map 3 is for qualifying, map 2 is for the race, and map 1 is for under safety car. This is more for fuel use and a little bit of power and RPM, so that basically map 3 we've got a little bit more RPM, a little bit more fuel being pumped in, a little bit richer. So that does give us a little bit of extra performance out on the track. Not that I've had to use this button yet, touch wood, got any wood in the car. But obviously reverse, so once we're in neutral, we can engage reverse out in the track if we have a spin or something. Windscreen wipers, self-explanatory. Drink bottle, talked about that. We've got our pedals here, left for down, right for up, makes a bit of a noise. We've actually got little spacers attached to each of these, because the pedal itself, this carbon fiber piece, it's quite a reach for the hand, believe it or not. So this space just makes it a little bit easier for us to plug it up and down at speed. We've also got our brake bias here, front's left, right's rear. So by adjusting that left and right, it adjusts the ratio of how much braking is applied to the front and the rear of the car. Quick look at the LCD dash here. The middle, the end there, as you can see, that's our gear. Fuel use, we've then got our lap time as we're going. This is in race mode, as you can see. Time difference, so we've got a delta that shows plus or minus the best lap that's loaded into the system. That's really handy, particularly in qualifying, to see if you're up or down on a lap. That influences a lot as to how you go about driving. Our general engine temperatures, pressures, etc. We've then also got some little indicators of obviously our lights and then where our ABS and our traction's set. So you can see I turn the traction control dial, it's going to move up. So as you can see there, I did say it was 2-stage, so we've got traction control and then we've got traction range. So that's the range from low speed to high speed in which it's implemented. The other screens we've got on the dash there, we've got a quali mode, which is just a little bit more simple but says the same stuff. We've then got some, I guess what you'd call maintenance mode. So this is all of the information that the mechanics and all look at while they're preparing the car. So as we prepare for what may be a wet race, wish us luck in the Gulf Racing Porsche. I hope you've enjoyed this little tour of the car. There's one more thing. This is a little initiative that's been implemented by GTA, which is the Super GT organisers. So if we have a major impact above a certain amount of G, there's a light that illuminates there, and that basically means that the driver must go to the medical centre for checks, precautionary checks. So that's a little driver safety thing there. And I guess finally as well, we've got our driver light. That's red for me, blue for Mineo, drivers 1 and 2. I think around here you'll see the driver ID. There we go. Driver 1, 2, 3, and that obviously has colours that indicate which driver's in the car. That's for the television, as well as indicating driver times and stuff. So it's been a quick tour of the Gulf Porsche. If you'd like to see other videos like this from around the pits or around the paddock of Super GT, comment on the video, let me know what you'd like to see, and I'll be sure to try and shoot some stuff for you guys throughout the rest of the season. Hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, looking forward to a good race today.